I own three Sinister. No. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm using for the first time the Sinister palette from Cosmic Beauty. This was given to me by a subscriber. Everyone's so kind. I'm just drowning in new pretties and it's so much fun and I'm having a great time filming with all the new palettes. If you want to see today's eyeshadow look and hear me chat about this particular color story, then stick around. Considering that at the end of 2024, I said that 2025 might be a really no or low buy for me, you wouldn't believe how many new eyeshadow palettes have come into my collection because subscribers are incredibly generous. The newest in the lineup that I'm going to be showcasing today is the Sinister palette from Cosmic Beauty or Cosmic Brushes. I own three Cosmic palettes. I own first Serenity, then I bought Muse, and then somebody gave me Winter Wonderland. And this was part of their Halloween mystery box, I believe, and now they're selling the palette if you want just the item itself and not the whole mystery box. This is the inside of it, and it's really lovely. It's not my absolute favorite color story from the brand or just in general, but I think that for what it is, it's actually a good assortment and balance between colors and depth and formulas as well. This shade is the one that has completely perplexed the internet, and everyone's saying, maybe not. It's basically a shiny eye gloss. I feel like it's just Vaseline in a pan. I'm not saying it is Vaseline in a pan, but that seems to be what it is, just a clear gloss. I think the name Ghost is perfect, but I'm not sure that anybody's really using or enjoying this. I remember Rachel Palmieri said she was slightly annoyed. She just cared for it less because this was a new formula introduced in a mystery box or a mystery palette, so people didn't know what they were getting. But then when they did receive it, they couldn't just go online and figure out how to use it. It was mystery all around, and that was a bit perplexing. Furthermore, I think that the fact that it's a creamy, oily, shiny kind of formula means that once you uncover this, if you don't cover it back up immediately, all of your shadow kick up is going to land in that pan and make it gross. So this is the sort of product that I think they should have included in a separate little pot as an add-on if you want it, or shoot, even as part of the full collection or mystery box, but not as part of the palette surrounded by powders, because if you peel this tape off, you're now exposing it to all of the mess that could potentially exist within a palette full of powders. I'm not planning on using it. It's just going to stay covered and I'll forget that it's there. Today I think I want to go something more burgundy purple, and I want to talk about this color story, which I have seen all over the place, and I'm curious about it. I'm going to start off in the shade Cursed with kind of a medium and slightly dense blending brush. I think I want to go, oh, that's beautiful. I think I want to go dark and smoky today, and pretty heavy on the purples, I think. So let's talk about this color story. Black, red, burgundy, and silver. I've been seeing it all over the place, and I guess I mean more like Halloween towards the end of 2024. The first time I saw it was the Urenzai Silvery Bliss palette, which was their 2024 Christmas, part of their Christmas release. Now I'm taking the shade Bone and softening the edge, just kissing the edge and blending it out a little bit. I don't know the timeline exactly, but at some point we saw the Glamlight Ghostface Returns palette. Black, red, burgundy, silver. And we've got this palette, black, red, burgundy, silver. I also just saw that Lethal came out with their Dexter collab, black, red, burgundy, and some silver. Now, these palettes are not exclusively those colors. This is such a beautiful, this purple is to die for. I just love it. Look at, I mean, the quality, the blend, the color, the pigmentation, no patchiness. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I'm going to pick up Ominous and deepen here. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. These palettes are not only those colors. Some of them have a flash of pinky tones like the Silvery Bliss. Some of them might lean, with a few of their shades, lean a little bit more peach or tan maybe, or orangey. So it's not only those colors, but that is predominantly what these palettes are all offering. Black, red, burgundy, silver. And I'm curious about that color story. Like, is that something that people asked for? It's not that it's bad. I mean, purple and red don't always go together perfectly, but if you bring in sort of a crossover tone like burgundy, which is purple with a bit of red in it, it can help bridge the gap, and then they can be workable. I'm just curious, like, who sends these memos? Who sent the black, red, burgundy, silver memo that all these brands got? And they're all really, you know, because they started working on them probably 8 to 12 months in advance, and then I'll release them around the same time of year. Who is starting these trends? I'm so curious. If you know, do tell, because the questions abound. I can't tell if I'm having trouble blending this color out or if I'm just a little afraid to because it's so intense. I don't want to bring that deep, deep purple all the way over. I just want to soften and soften. I can't tell. I don't think I'm having trouble blending it. I might have had a little trouble blending bone into that color, or rather using bone to blend it out, but that could be because bone is so light and this purple is so deep. Maybe it was more a matter of my choices, because I'm not really seeing an issue blending out. Okay. It might seem very expected, but I actually want to use the shade Haunted, which is the purple shimmer. But I also want to use, let's see, this is Shiver. Pretty. This is Eerie. Of course we're going to use Eerie. Cosmic Brushes always puts their really, really special shade in this top left corner. Consistently, I think. So we're going to go into Haunted and Eerie. Haunted first. I don't know why I just wiped my finger because I wanted that shade. But here we go. That's a lovely, lovely purple. I had a subscriber. Did I say I had a subscriber send me this palette? Sorry, I think I filmed my intro twice because I was sounding stupid. So I may have forgotten to mention that in the one that I kept. But anyway, they sent me this and they sent me the Adept Unity palette. And both are just so pretty. So, so pretty. Today I was feeling kind of smoky, so I wanted to go with this one. Although, the Adept Unity palette has some pretty smoky tones too. That one will be coming. Now for the lower lash line, I want to actually start in my inner corner with the shade Fear. Put this here. It's a little bit dark for my inner corner. It's not a true pastel, but it'll work okay. And now I want the shade Damned, which is this super deep, rich wine color. I think this brush is too big. It's way too big. Why did I choose such an enormous brush? Crazy. It's way too big. I have a napkin on my lap. I'm using it to try to clean some product off the brush. I'm taking a really loose, fluffy blending brush and trying to soften this under eye. I mean, I don't know what I was doing. Maybe I'll dip back into Fear a little bit and bring a smidge of pink down there because this is a really pretty color, but too much of it and too thick of an application. I should have used a much finer brush, especially for a deep color. It would have been more forgiving if I had used a lighter color with that thicker brush, but I didn't. Now I've buffed and softened that whole lower lash line. I do want to intensify just at the lashes, so this time I have a proper brush. This is an angled, possibly a brow brush, and I'm picking up Damned and smudging it only at the lash line. So much better. Finish this off, I just want to put a tiny flash of color and lightness at my very inner corner because this matte is not really that bright. It's not a great inner corner highlight because it's not highlighting. So I've taken Shiver just on my fingertip and I'm going to put that right here to bring a flash of light. Yeah, just a little bit. It's still pink, so it works with the matte that I laid down, but just a little bit of something to catch the light reflect and bounce away. So the light is drawn here and then, you know what I mean? That's better. Now it's really feeling highlighted instead of just I would say a mid-toned light, because I would not consider this to be pastel. It's almost pastel. Or maybe it is a pastel, but it's just not different enough for my skin tone, or it doesn't have enough of a white base to really stand out. There, as far as I'm concerned, are no inner corner highlights in this palette, so I had to take this one and put it on top. But I do think that that helped because now I've got a little sparkle happening here, and that's highlighting the area. A couple of thoughts before I finish off. I meant to say, and I don't think I did during the actual body of the video that one thing all of these palettes have done well, even though they're kind of the same color story, and again, like I said, one might lean a little more pinky in some of the mattes, but others have more orangey or peachy or coral sorts of mattes. On the whole, they're red, burgundy, black, and silver. However, all of these palettes have done something really well, and that is to include a great deal of contrast. Most of them have a couple of really, really light tones, and they have a couple of really dark tones. Like, I think out of all the palettes I mentioned, this one might actually have the least contrast as far as lightness, because the other ones seem to have almost white, or like in the Dexter collab, there's one that looks like it's spotted with blood or something. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head, but even this one, like I wish that this were a little bit lighter and this were a little bit lighter. But generally all of these palettes have a really good arrangement of quite light tones, quite deep tones, everything in the middle, and then some really interesting and varied shimmers as well. I think that as far as what it is, quite unsurprisingly, Cosmic Beauty has done really an amazing job. They have such a great formula, quality, and overall color stories. Like I said, it's just a nice balance of all these different tones. You have some like very, very cool, you can see sort of quads or sextets. You got a quad of gray, a quad of red, a sextet of pinky tones, although there's a black here obviously, and these lean a little more red but not totally. And then you've got 6 or so purples up here with your multi-chrome, but you also have kind of in rows a little bit. This whole row is gray leaning purples. This row is more true purples, and then we have grays on the end, which are definitely not purple. And then you have these rosy kinds of tones with the reddish. So there's some organization in the layout as well. And as far as the quality, this is of course my first time using it, but I think that this purple's gorgeous. I love it as a foundation color. I didn't have any patchiness. I built upon it and I blended away. I did have a tiny bit of trouble blending out the purple, but I used a matte that was extremely different. It wasn't like a step or two down. It was really different. It was almost my skin tone, quite a light matte, although not pastel. It doesn't have that white base. I think I probably would have been better served to simply clean off my purple brush and softly use the purple to blend itself away in lighter and lighter quantities, rather than taking a bone colored, like a gray based bone colored matte and trying to blend away the purple. But purples are tricky to formulate, and what I did get from the color is beautiful. So let me tell you what I did to finish off, and then we'll close out today's video. I put dark purple in my waterline. I just felt like it was perfect. This is the shade Champs from ColourPop. I do have mascara on, and on my lips I'm wearing the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Rocky Road. That's everything. I would love to hear your thoughts as usual. I enjoy chatting with you, of course. Please tell me your opinions. Tell me if you have any of those palettes that I've mentioned, either this one here or the Lethal, the Glamlight, or the Udenzai palette. And if you have the Udenzai palette, let me know of the quality, because I've heard people ranking that one pretty favorably, and it seems like maybe Udenzai is coming out of their quality funk of 23 into 24. So if that's a really good quality palette, I'd love to hear your impression of it, honestly. Tell me what you think of today's eye look, of course. I hope you'll consider liking and subscribing if you've never done so before and you want to see more content like this. I do tend to post several videos a week, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.